Midsize SUVs are perfect family transportation because of their flexibility in carrying people on cargo. The availability of all-wheel drive also means that they are more than just a fair-weather friend. And you don't need to break the bank when shopping for one, as this list of 10 best midsize SUVs under $35K shows. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The 2021 Toyota Venza. With its loop-in roofline, the Venza has less boxy proportions than its similarly sized RAV4. The smooth lines remind of a Lexus, which is no bad thing, and elements like the smart LED daytime running lights in the front and the horizontally stretched taillights do just enough to give it a personality of its own. Inside, the Venza is a cut above the RAV4 in terms of material quality, bordering on Lexus territory. Everything looks and feels built to last, and the hourglass-shaped console provides the driver and front passenger with a cocooning feel. The black Java dual-tone color scheme available higher up in the range takes the feeling of luxury up another notch. That said, the cabin is not notably bigger than the RAV4's. On the base LE, features like an 8-inch touchscreen, an 8-way power-adjustable driver's seat, fabric-trimmed seats, and blind spot monitoring are standard. The mid-range XLE adds soft-text bolsters to the seat, front and rear parking assistance, and heated front seats. The combination of the Venza's 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine and the 3 electric motors generates a combined of 219 horsepower, exactly the same output as the RAV4 hybrid. On its own, the 4-pot makes 176 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque, obviously tuned for efficiency rather than outright power. Power is transferred to all 4 wheels via the standard on-demand all-wheel drive system. This Toyota crossover feels composed on winding roads, but it's not overly agile. Instead, the Venza aims to be an easy-to-drive, comfortable SUV, and it succeeds. The ride quality stands out, and the suspension absorbs road imperfections easily. The 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe. The 2021 Santa Fe has acquired the extremely bold front-end styling found on the brand-new Tucson, specifically the wide 3-dimensional grille with the T-shaped LED lighting signature. A sharp shoulder crease line handsomely connects the front and the rear LEDs, while at the back the taillight boasts rear reflector accents. The South Korean automaker continues to offer some of the most striking-looking vehicles on the market, with the new Santa Fe attesting to it. Hyundai has made significant upgrades to the interior. There is a new high-position floating console that not only exudes a more premium feel, but also helps to increase cabin space. A 10.3-inch touchscreen display replaces last year's 8-inch, while the driver will enjoy the new 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. Tech-wise, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are now standard on SE, SEL, and SEL convenience trims. Perhaps the biggest news concerns what's under the 2021 Santa Fe's hood. An optional hybrid powertrain consisting of a 1.6-liter Turbo 4 paired to a lithium-ion 64 kWh battery and an electric motor. Combined output comes to an estimated 225 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. The old 2.4-liter four-cylinder is replaced by a 2.5-liter 4 Smart Stream, producing 191 horsepower and 182 pound-feet, and paired to an 8-speed automatic. On the road, though the Santa Fe can't match the athleticism of some of its peers, its ride and handling certainly won't turn you off from buying it. It feels stable and secure when cornering, and the ride feels cushioned, even over rough pavement. The 2021 Kia Sorento. There is no denying this is a good-looking vehicle, and even from afar, the exterior looks fresh and modern. Kia resisted the urge to make this a baby Telluride, instead opting to style the Sorento like the K5 sedan. Up front, there are LED headlights on either end of a blocky tiger nose grille, with the top trims gaining DRLs and LED taillights too. 17-inch wheels are standard, but you can get 18s or even 20s depending on which trim you choose. At the back, there is also a roof spoiler and a faux diffuser with fake exhaust tips. The interior of the Kia Sorento is splendidly laid out, with good use of attractive materials and beautiful design. Depending on which model you get, you will have different interior trim elements, but everything seems very well built. The base model gets cloth upholstery while the top trim is dressed in leather. All models in between get Syntax faux leather. As standard, there is an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment display and a 4.2-inch driver info display. But further up the range, you can get a 10.3-inch touchscreen display and a 12.3-inch driver info display, a first for the Sorento. Just like in the Santa Fe, the base engine is a 2.5-liter 4 with 191 horsepower and 182 pound-feet of torque, while the 2.5-liter turbo produces 281 horses with 311 pound-feet of twist. The only hybrid model available at the moment comes with a 1.6-liter turbo 4 that makes a total of 227 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. This Kia feels composed on winding roads and it has fairly agile handling. It won't keep up with the sporty SUVs like the Mazda CX-9, but you can enjoy yourself while driving it. The ride is generally smooth as well, though you will feel larger impacts, especially in models with larger wheels. The 2021 Ford Explorer. The body of the Ford Explorer has been comprehensively tweaked and redesigned, but the headlights and taillights bear resemblance to the old model. LED daytime running lights feature along with a new grille that is gloss black on ST models and full chrome on the top Platinum model. Black plastic wheel arches, rocker panels, and bumper guards protect the paint, while the glass house imitates a floating roof design with the black A-pillars. The Explorer's interior is fairly monochromatic and is dominated by black with hints of gray plastic dotted about. However, it still looks neat and fairly classy with a relatively premium feel. Everything is decently assembled and solid, with comfy seats and a roomy feel. Heated and ventilated front seats, as well as heated second-row seats are available. A choice of 2 infotainment systems is on offer as well, with the ST and premium models having access to an attractive but slightly unintuitive larger 10.1-inch screen available to replace the standard 8-inch system. Features like power folding third row and a standard power liftgate help make the Explorer more function-friendly. The standard engine in the Explorer is a 300 horsepower 2.3-liter EcoBoost Turbo 4 with 310 pound-feet of torque. This engine does duty in the base XLT and limited trims, while the 3.0-liter turbocharged V6 EcoBoost is fitted to the ST and Platinum. In the Platinum model, it produces 365 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. And although the base model performs admirably and smoothly, the extra grunt of the V6 is immediately apparent here. The ST model, which is intended to be considerably sportier, is also a competent performer. Here, the V6 produces a meaty 400 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque, more than enough to make it a fun car to mash your right foot in and enough to mitigate the desire for a V8. The 2021 Mazda CX-9. Covered in sleek sheet metal, the CX-9 employs the brand's CUDA design language, with the result being a sleeker look than most 3-row SUVs in this class. Instead of a mesh grille, the CX-9 gets a grille with 5 horizontal bars. Flanking the grille are LED headlights with available LED fog lights lower down in the bumper. The Sport and Touring trim ride on 18-inch alloy wheels, while the Grand Touring and Signature get larger 20-inch alloys. All models get dual exhaust tips, and a powered tailgate comes outfitted to each model above the base Sport. The cabin of the CX-9 is certainly impressive. High-quality materials and excellent craftsmanship combine to create an environment that is well insulated and lavishly styled. The base Sport model might not have the most elegant trimmings, but it's still well appointed with a power driver's seat and plenty of standard features. Lay out a little more cash for an upgraded trim and you get more elegant metal and wood trims, higher quality leather upholstery, and even more advanced tech. The interface for the infotainment suite is easily accessed and operating it requires little effort. There is plenty of passenger space in the first 2 rows, and the third row can accommodate children without fuss thanks to the tilt-sliding second row seats. It's just a pity that the CX-9 doesn't impress as such when it comes to cargo capacity. Unlike many of its rivals, the CX-9 doesn't offer any additional engines or transmission options over what comes standard. As a result, performance is pretty standard regardless of trim you choose. While many rivals are still sticking with naturally aspirated V6 engines, the Turbo 4 under the hood of the Mazda give it a bit of an edge. Few midsize SUVs are as fun to drive as this Mazda thanks to the composed cornering ability and well-weighted accurate steering. The ride is generally comfortable too, although getting the larger alloy wheels can firm things a bit up. The 2021 Hyundai Palisade. Subtle is not a word that would spring to mind when trying to describe the Palisade's appearance. From the large grille to displayed composite headlights, it certainly makes its presence known. It's handsome along the sides, with heavily sculpted wheel arch surround standing out, while the rear is muscular and broad-looking. All versions feature LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, while top trims have LED taillights. Roof rails are standard from the SEL up. The interior of the Palisade earns top marks for space utilization, quality, and usability. This is a 3-row SUV that can genuinely seat 8 people, with even the third row offering adequate space for average-sized adults. For the driver, there is a clean and logical control layout and a plethora of standard gear such as Smart Cruise Control and Lane Following Assist. All versions feel upscale thanks to the soft touch cabin materials, such as the dashboard, which is wrapped in imitation or genuine leather, depending on the trim. Interior storage space is excellent, with a handy additional storage area beneath the center console. Top trims are lavishly specified with features like a heated steering wheel, a head-up display, and wireless device charging. Regardless of the model you choose, the 2021 Palisade SUV comes equipped with a 3.8-liter naturally aspirated V6 generating 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, allied to either front or all-wheel drive. Being a family SUV, it needs to be adept at moving people around in comfort but without falling apart at the first corner. Thankfully, it ticks both of these boxes. The multi-link rear independent suspension helps to provide the Palisade with a compliant enough ride, with the typical bumps and lumps of everyday commuting being effectively shut out. That said, there is an underlying firmness to the setup, but it never becomes harsh. The 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. Nissan threw away what didn't work with the old Pathfinder, opting to give this new model a more rugged motif with improved performance. Taking what it learned from the 2021 Rogue, the new Pathfinder is also equipped with Nissan's best technology to rival the midsize crossover segment's top competitors. It clearly borrows much of its rugged design from the facelifted Armada, which is great news. Gone are the old model's bulbous proportions in favor of a more truck-like shape. A wider stance and shoulder overhangs provide a bolder presence than before, while the new headlights and slim taillights usher the Pathfinder into a new decade. It's no accident that the new Pathfinder's cabin looks a lot like the latest Rogue. Most of the controls, including the steering wheel, shifter, infotainment system, and gauge cluster, look as though they were ripped straight from Nissan's compact SUV, albeit with a few minor changes. This isn't a criticism, as the Rogue is a great place to spend time in. Of particular note is the available 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and the large infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay. Unlike the Rogue though, the Pathfinder gets optional ventilated seats. While it retains the 284 horsepower 3.5-liter V6 from the previous generation, it drops the continuously variable transmission in favor of a new 9-speed automatic. Front-wheel drive is standard, but all trims can be equipped with all-wheel drive. Upgrading to the all-wheel drive system also adds a set of 7 drive modes, including off-road focused sand and mud modes. The 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. The regular Atlas is an inoffensive but rather bland 3-row SUV, but the new Atlas Cross Sport lives up to its name by showing off far more adventurous lines. Along with the coupe-like roofline, it also has shorter overhangs, contributing to a 2.8 inches reduction in length in comparison to the regular Atlas. From certain angles, the Atlas Cross Sport resembles an Audi Q8, a quality that will please VW fans and annoy Audi drivers. The base model has features like silver roof rails, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and 18-inch alloy wheels. Get into the Atlas Cross Sport and the sound of the door closing emits a pleasing, satisfying thunk that boasts the impression of quality. While many other materials feel robust, there are some plasticky bits such as the door window switches and hard plastics that don't feel quite as Audi-like. Otherwise, the design is clean and functional, and there are traditional knobs for the frequently used climate controls. The base variant has manual air conditioning, manually adjustable seats, and a smaller version of the central touchscreen, while pricier trims have dual-zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, leatherette upholstery, and a larger touchscreen. A choice of 2 engines is available for the Atlas Cross Sport, starting with the 235 horsepower 2-liter turbocharged 4 and highlighted by a 3.6-liter V6 with 276 HP and 266 pound-feet. In both cases, an 8-speed automatic transmission is used, while the standard front-wheel drive setup on most trims can be upgraded to all-wheel drive. That said, the 2020 Atlas Cross Sport takes the road with assured Germanic confidence, and with a smooth ride despite firm suspension keeping it flatter than a heavy crossover should be when tackling a twisty road. While the suspension mostly delivers an excellent ride as a whole, small sharp bumps can be jarring. So, which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications for the latest car reviews and news. Take care, see you in the next one.